So, just a little short one. I know I'm these every day. It seems like feels like to me. Right timing. Timing has something to do with it. You know that saying, "There's nothing as powerful as an idea whose time has come." There's nothing so powerful as an idea whose time has come. It's like we're ready to hear it. That's when the patent office across the world, if you do studies across the world in patents offices, all of a sudden the same idea for electricity, light bulb, whatever, radio waves, will come at the same time, like within a few months, and those researchers, scientists, are sure that it got stolen from them because they didn't tell anybody. They just got it directly, a download. And so this is a verifiable fact that these inventions, these ideas come, there's a time in the collective morphic field when we're ready for it. And if you're too early, there's a movie about Tesla called Man Out of Time, and where you could argue very well that Tesla was too early. He's outside of time, operating outside of time. And so his inventions for free energy or transmission of free energy, like Wycliffe Tower, little antenna on your car that would basically be free energy, like radio waves, but that would convert into energy to run your car off of wireless. Yes, Tesla had this. That was too early because the story goes, J.P. Morgan and the bankers said, well, where do we put the meter? And no, you can't put a meter on it. Well, we're not doing that. And so they stay with coal and something controllable, and Edison and all that. But you can ultimately, I want to point out, in the big picture, Tesla, there's some early seed sowers that come in and sow an early seed, but they're not accepted by the collective. Tesla's not accepted by the collective. He's scrubbed from the history books. Now, the statue in Edison, New Jersey, an actual town, I had a guy I'm working with from Edison, New Jersey, said that people go and deface the statue because we're now collectively waking up to the fact that Edison was kind of a monster. He used to electrocute an elephant, an old circus elephant. He electrocuted him live, burning him, just stiff. Look it up. It's on a Tesla, the band, what's his name? 9 Inch Nails. He uses that footage in one of his videos, Trent Reznor. So Tesla was too early. And Edison was kind of a nasty, old controller, and it's reflected in their approaches. Edison's approach was, inspiration is 99% perspiration, meaning in sweat and toil shalt thou earn thy horrible living, thou fucking sinful little peon. And 1% inspiration, but 99% perspiration. It's the same thing you see on TV whenever someone's, quote, successful on TV. They go, well, if you work hard enough, sounding like Wilbur from the old horse show. You ever notice bankers' hours are none nowadays? They used to have bankers' hours like 9 to 2. Now the owners of the banks, they don't even show up, but they want you to think you have to work hard. Anyway, so Edison was promoted in all the school books to program the kids because you have to work hard. Tesla used to sit and meditate, and he'd get the idea for the drawings, the blueprints, and mentally, and he'd work them out. He wouldn't experiment. He wouldn't do the 999 tries to make a light bulb and then finally get it right. He'd do all that in his imagination, in his head. And then when he finally built it, it worked. That was in ease. With God inspiration, it is easy. With mankind ego perspiration, it's difficult. So, but Tesla is scrubbed from the history books. Edison is promoted as whatever, super inventor, and honored to program the masses. Even though today in Edison, New Jersey, the actual town, they are defacing Edison's statue, writing stuff like Tesla graffiti on them, because the collective is waking up, realizing you were part of keeping us controlled. So there's nothing so powerful as an idea whose time has come for the collective. But there are early pioneers that most often don't fare very well. Let's see. Jesus pushed it a little bit there at the end, started taking the whip to the money changers, the bankers. Crucified. Bye-bye. Because if you push past the if you it's actually trespassing. I know this is going to be controversial, but this is just my opinion. I'm just, you can judge me as one of those crazy, flaky, way ahead of, out of time people, which I am, right? But I'm trying not to get killed this time. I've been there, done that, and killed others and so forth. It's a tangled web. Forgiveness, turning the other cheek. Forgiveness is the way out. Keeping the battle going keeps the battle going. So, and I'm no Jesus. I'm a little tiny, whatever, trying to learn and find my way. But everyone who's come early, what? John Lennon, John F. Kennedy, Gandhi, RFK, MLK, Medgar Evers, Malcolm X, what? Or if they're not outright killed, the collective kills them. Amy Winehouse, whatever. Their own, they're just flotsam and jetsam. Anna Nicole Smith, they're just simple fragment souls who aren't strong enough to fight the collective. Like someone like Sting, in my opinion, is like, he's strong enough as a soul to go, okay, I'm stepping away from that. As it starts getting crazy with the police, synchronicities into Carl Jung, something dark crawls from a Scottish loch. My little dark hole on the sun. That's my soul today. Right. All right. Again, my phone overheated, which is whatever. And so we're back. Actually, to put it in the freezer. So I don't know where we left off on the Edison and Tesla story, but there's nothing so powerful as an idea whose time has come. And I used Tesla and Edison as the examples. Tesla, man out of time, was a little bit early, but in the big picture, he sowed the seeds. But he was never going to be publicly honored at the time. And other people that come early, JFK, MLK, RFK, Gandhi, whoever, right? Often they're John F. Lennon, John Lennon. Right? Often they're shot in the head. They're killed. Jesus, of course. They're not accepted. Van Gogh, I don't know, artists that are too early, they're not accepted when they're alive. You have to be dead before you're honored, although that's changing some now. So, right timing, being open-eyed about what you're getting into, And so I'm working this out for myself. This is why I'm making this video. And you can make it so you just offer the information. You don't push it on the collective. If you push on the collective beast, it kind of goes, you irritating me, must be removed, killed, right? And the collective does that in the sense of free Barabbas and kill Jesus, because the collective would rather have their known criminals, the known system, that's raping and murdering them and stealing from them, Barabbas, whether you believe it's an allegory or a real story, both, in my opinion. And the irritant, in this case, the Christ consciousness, the awakening consciousness, is removed, killed, crucified, gotten rid of. So if you come in too early, this is why inventors, like free energy inventors, if they don't, it's the gun or the money. It's, look, take the money, we'll buy you out, we'll buy that invention for $100 million, and we'll shelve it. There's 5,000 patents that are free energy patents that are suppressed because of national security reasons, right? So, and please label me as crazy, and if you need to be, and just shut this off. That would be great. Thank you if it's irritating you in any way. But for those with the ears to hear, so right timing is important. And you know this in your personal life. I've been a pusher, true confessions. I've been a pusher of truth. And I'm stopping that because I got a wake-up call this year saying, you better stop it or else, you're going to be removed off the planet, basically, right? By myself, by my own soul, ultimately, or God, or Source, or the collective. And because I want to learn. I've learned enough in other lifetimes what it's like to be, I've seen other lifetimes where I've been, forcibly shut down, shall we say, as a Celtic teacher, and the Romans tied me to a stone block and chopped me up piece by piece, very much like Braveheart. And I was the other side. I was the Roman soldier. So we play both sides. It's not about they're all evil. No, we're learning from the game. This is where you take responsibility for your part in it, So timing is super important. Or be cognizant of it. Go, okay, I'm trespassing. I'm going over it. Today I watched a little thing on Alex Jones, who some of you may know in America, who's a very brash, loud truth teller of the political shenanigans. And he was confronting a senator, Marco Rubio, and just on the free speech thing and how Rubio is paid by whatever interests, and cabals and so forth. And okay, so in my opinion, Alex Jones is telling a lot of truth, but he's doing it too early, and it makes him look crazy and just a conspiracy lunatic nutcake, right? Because it's too early, but he's on that crusade, and I so relate. I've been there. I've been the crusader, and now I'm just wanting to heal myself, really, right? And watch the game go down while I hang out at the Blue Buddha sushi bar and play my music with my sunglasses on, right? And, no one can stop your personal evolution. But if you insist on the collective, or if you take a collective job, John Lennon telling a little too much truth, Paul McCartney, silly love songs, that's fine. You're not confronting the collective beast. But John Lennon was a little too, power to the people. Imagine there's no heaven and no religion. Oh my God, that'll trigger the collective. So the collective gets behind whatever operation they did. And if you're interested in that, look up a guy named, I forget his name, Danish guy who exposes all that stuff about the assassinations. Ole Dammegård, that's his name. I'm going to leave it at that. And so, but the collective beast, the collective unreadiness, the timing, it's all about timing. And then later we honor them, Lenin was a visionary hero, and we'll have the Strawberry Fields Garden in Central Park. I've been there. It's really beautiful. I wanted to go there and feel it, or Gandhi statues all over India and so forth, or JFK, massive memorial libraries, honors, prizes, etc., so forth. That's a safe way to get rid of them. Or even some like Princess Diana, she was maybe going to start telling some truth, so they die, whether it's an overt conspiracy or it's the collective or they get caught in it. That's sliding scale, in my opinion, So timing is important in your own family. God, look at God's source, the Tao, the Buddhas. They just hang out and play music with their sunglasses on and pretend not to know anything. Right? What you talking about? What's that baseline like? That's the safe zone when you're dealing with a collective monster. Unless God's behind you, or, you want to do it, take on the collective, And someone needs to do it, so Tesla does it, but he's never honored. John F. Kennedy tries it, but he gets shot, And that's all part of the evolutionary tangled web of human evolution that we're doing. But timing is important. If I tell, and people you love, you don't tell your kids everything right away. I don't tell Gabby here, my little darling doggies, I don't try to teach them trigonometry, It just will make them feel bad about themselves and frustrate me. You don't try to teach pigs to sing. It just frustrates the hell out of you and irritates the pigs, right? Mark Twain, whoever said that, I forget who said it first. It might have been the Robert Heinlein, actually. Anyway, so timing. Be careful, full of care with the timing, and for yourself. My prayer this morning during my meditation is not too fast, not too much, God. And God Source tried to teach me this starting 10 years ago in some ceremonies, some medicine ceremonies, about it's actually painful if you expand consciousness too fast and not helpful. So God is incredibly humble. The Tao is very humble. You don't see God appearing on CNN yelling at you going, you need to wake up, you know. God is the most hidden thing, source, in the whole drama currently, the Maya Metote dream fog. So it's very humbled. And so timing, love, with love you use timing. With truth-mongering, it's what I tried to say a few videos ago, the black truth. What I meant by that is you're using the truth, but in a hurtful way. You know, Osho used to say also, he said, don't use the truth as a weapon, you know. Love uses the truth in timing and sparingly and gently. And I'm so glad God does that with me, Source does that with me, because my particular history, my folder of my karma, if you will, or my past, it's got some shit in it. And I need to approach it gently, slowly, what you can handle. It's like we're all in PTSD. Being human, we're all in post-traumatic stress disorder syndrome. You know, we all have it. It's called having lives on Earth and being raped, murdered, killed, you know, whatever, disappointed, betrayed, stabbed in the back, so forth, right? Or just confused, not understanding how it works. And it's traumatizing, you know. So compassion, love, and timing might be helpful tools. I'm planning on that. I'm learning. I'm still learning. I'm paying for it. Or I'm processing it in me. But I am interested now more in just hanging out at the Blue Buddha sushi bar, playing my music, and for those that reverberate with me will find each other. And for the collective, I will be very careful with love. That's why there's a collective teaching. Jesus has a collective teaching, and then the inner teaching, the inner circle teaching. Yogananda, everybody talks about this, very different. The closer you get to the truth, that will sound crazy if you teach it publicly in this current state. Maybe 1,000 or a few hundred years from now, we'll be able to tell the truth a lot more openly. You know, there's a lot of ET races that, for example, they don't do family or sex or raising children the way we do. But if we tell it to you, you're going to go, oh my God, they're immoral. They know that sex is just an energy generation. And they don't have these locks. Husband, husband, the bound house man. The Vikings, that's where that word comes from. You're a housebound man. You weren't allowed to go raiding. You became a husband, housebound. Wife, chattel, owning each other. You know, the men, you were my property. Women were property of men until not too long ago. So that's not done by many galactic families. No, it's energy generation, and you truly raise the child as a group. It's your child, but you invite the soul. It's a whole other way. But we would look at them, and most of us would go, wow, that's immoral. They're having sex with more than one person at a time, because we're not ready to handle that truth. So truth has a time release on it. So I wish I had a big pill here. It said truth on it. It said time release capsule. And you know that, because your soul sort of sees everything beyond your assemblage point, but your personality is like, whoa, that's scary. The waking up is hard to do, you know. I was going to joke about changing my Facebook page called The Course of Awakening to people. I was going to go, shall we call it The Curse of Awakening instead of The Course of Awakening? Right? So, love supporting the timing may be a better, smoother way than the pendulum swinging between whatever ism, this ism, that ism. Let's kill off 100 million people in the word of communism. Let's rape people. Let's rape the earth in, you know, this obsessive, crazy search for power. So maybe if we do time-release truth. So those of you that are pushing for free energy, it's not quite time yet. They exist. We're sowing the seeds right now collectively. At a certain point, you can be like Bob Lazar, the guy, very famous Area 51 guy. Look him up, Google him. He runs his own Mitsubishi and his own Corvette on total hydrogen power. But when he tries to sell it publicly, the government comes after him. True hydrogen, just a water machine, a little bit of electricity, less than running a light bulb, makes true hydrogen, superpower car. But we're not ready for that. And the way it manifests is in these little hydrides or certain elements that are rated a little bit, they're controlled elements because of nuclear situation. But that's our collective reflection. So join me at the Blue Buddha Sushi Bar Cafe. This is actually a place in Page, Arizona. I haven't been there yet, but I saw the t-shirt and I love it. And let's hang out at the Blue Buddha Cafe and enjoy the show and have compassion and offer love to those that are trying to come out of the matrix, those that are ready, those that are still into battling and fighting. God bless Alex Jones. God bless the pioneers. It may end up very strange for him, breakdown or something, because he's pushing on the collective. But also it could be his job. It's not my job anymore. I resigned. I re-signed the contract. I resigned. I re-signed the contract that said I'm out of my oaths and contracts. All right. Check out the webcasts. I am still offering some things, but not pushing anything. TobiasLars.com if you want to on the weekends. Sundays, 10:30 a.m. Pacific Standard, LA, California time. Or the methods, InnerBodyAwakening.com, AlchemyEnergyProcess.com, TheHeartEnergy.com, and soon, One Full Conscious Breath.com we're going to do. So you can offer support and help, but you can't push it. That's trespassing. That's what I'm learning. Namaste, no mistake, much love. Mo later. Let's see if this stream caught up again. All right.